Okay. So today we will enter a new topic. Okay, we will discuss about audience theories. Okay, but in general, we have completed our discussion about the four main topics, four main theoretical categories. Okay, so we've already talked about post-positivism, we've talked about critical theories, cultural theories, as well as normative theories. Okay, so after this, what we will be doing, okay, we will go through different application of theories. Okay, so when we discuss these different theories, okay, in these coming chapters, it will be a combination of theories that have critical background as well as post-positivist background. Alright, so it's really depending on whether you understand what we have been studying all this while. Okay, because if you understand, then you would know, oh, this theory is post-positivism, this theory is something else. Okay, so today we're going to discuss about, okay, audience theories. Okay, so these are specific media theories. So this theories, okay, many theory, okay, discuss about the influence of media on audiences. Okay, so audiences are people who actually watch the media, who consume the media content. Okay, so when we talk about audiences, it's a specific group of people. We're not talking about society in general. Okay, we cannot talk about the influence of the media on the Muslim societies. Cannot. Okay, because not all Muslims are audiences. That means this is focusing on specific those group of people who are consuming. Alright. So if we want to study Muslims, we have to identify Muslims that actually watch that particular programs. Okay. That means the impact of the media only on those who consume the content, not for everyone. Okay. So we go here. Okay. Okay, can you see the slides? Yes? Okay. Audience theory. Okay, good.
Yes.
So here, okay, the learning objectives, okay, you will understand, okay, recognize the ways audiences can be active. Okay, so now if we start by saying that the audiences are active, okay, that means we don't consider the effect as powerful. Here we talk about minimal effects. Usually, okay, audience theories talks about minimal effects. It means, okay, that when we use these theories, we don't believe that media asserts so much power. Okay, why? Because we focus on audiences. We will do the research on those people who consume the content. Okay, so we will allow them to tell us, okay, how they use the media, instead of, okay, making us big assumptions. So basically, if we say, okay, that the media, the audiences are active, what kind of theories are these? Okay, so most of the time they are post-positivist theories. Okay, remember post-positivist theories we discussed last class. Okay, we talk about how the theories see audiences as active. They don't see media as that powerful. Okay, why do they see media as having minimal effects? Because remember, okay, they look at the functions of the media and then they focus on the individuals. All right, okay. So audience analysis. Audience, again, like I said, is a specific group, as a specific category. Okay, we're not talking about society in general. Okay, so it is talking about, okay, when we use this analysis, we must consider, okay, that most of the time we see audiences as active. Okay, audience-centered theories. They focus on what people do with the media. Okay, now you must understand, focus on what people do with the media, not what the media does to the people. Can you see the difference here? When we take critical cultural studies, we usually look at what the media does to people. Okay, media give influence, media maintain status quo. So that is one way to look at the relationship between media, communication and society. But here, okay, when we talk about audience theories, it is audience-centered. What the people do with the media. Can you follow? Alright, so what do you do with the media? Different people do different things. Okay, so that's why again, this leads to the understanding that the power of the media is minimal. Right? And this analysis often use the uses and gratifications approach. I've already discussed this a little bit in the last class. Alright? So uses and gratification approach is part of functionalism. Okay, that means, okay, this approach of the media, okay, they focus on the uses to which people put media and the gratifications they seek from those use. Okay, what does this mean? It means that according to this analysis, okay, when we ask people, when we study people, we must understand that everyone, when they choose to use a particular media, when they choose to consume a particular media content, probably listening to a particular song or watching a particular movie, they usually do that because they are gratified by that thing that they are doing. What do we mean by gratified? That means they become happy, they become satisfied, they become fulfilled. Okay, so that is why, for example, okay, when we are happy, some people, when they are happy, they like to listen to happy songs. Okay, when they are happy, they like to watch happy movies. Okay, but different people have different likings. You know, they have different happy movies. Some people, happy movies are comedy. Some people, happy movies are what we call it, cartoons. Okay, so why do we have different desires for different types of movies? Because we are gratified, we are fulfilled by different things. Can you understand? So if we say, okay, that people use something based on how they are satisfied by that certain something, we already have basically understood that the audience or the people are the one who makes the decision. Okay? So audience analysis, okay, always relate to entertainment theory. So we will discuss this theory later, yeah? Okay? So entertainment theory examines the key psychological mechanisms underlying audience use and enjoyment of entertainment-oriented media content. So this is a theory you can specifically use when you want to study entertainment content. Because in general, when we talk about entertainment, right, it is the main function of the media. Most of us, why do we watch movie? Why do we watch television? Because we want to get entertainment. Okay, so here, if we use the entertainment theory, okay, we don't consider entertainment or audiences as having negative or positive effect. Okay, we're just here to look at how people use entertainment. Okay, all right. So maybe you're a little confused right now. Okay, I will discuss in more depth after this. Okay, but why do we have to discuss about this? Okay, these are the characteristics of audience analysis. Okay, the characteristics. That means when we say that we are using audience theories, okay, we see that audiences as active. Okay, we see what the audience do to the media, not what the media does to the people. Okay, and then we also say that when audiences choose to use, okay, or to consume a particular media content, it is their decision. They do it because they are gratified. Okay, gratified, fulfilled by whatever that they consume. Okay, and this even includes entertainment. That entertainment is not necessarily a negative function. Okay, it is just a function. People feel happy when they are watching comedy, for example. It is entertainment. Okay, so far can understand? All right, so these are just, okay, we're just discussing the characteristics of audience theories. Okay, now the first is uses and gratifications approach. Now, so uses and gratifications approach, later on you will see, is one of the most popular media theory. Okay, because most people will use it in their research because it's very simple to use. Okay, So uses and gratification approach is actually a theory that responded to the theory of mass society. Okay, remember the theory of mass society? Okay, so that is an example of a theory that does not focus on the audiences. It focuses on what the media does to the people, not how the people or the audiences use the media. So in mass society, remember, it says that the media tries to control or give bad influence to everyone. Mass. The word is mass. Okay? But here, okay, when they started to use more methods and they wanted to be more scientific, they say we cannot make that grand assumptions. Okay, so okay, we must focus on learning and understanding how people use the media instead of making assumptions that they are all being badly influenced. Okay, so here it says when we watch the media or when we consume media, it is not straightforward. Sometimes there is some interaction with the content. Okay, so this gives, okay, some degree to which participants in the communication process have control over and can change roles in their mutual discourse. Okay, maybe in your own experience when you're watching television, okay, you might find some programs boring. You change channel. Okay, but you like a certain program and you watch it many times. So this shows that the way you like the media based on your own interests and your own taste. That means how you are gratified. Okay, some probably okay, cannot stand long dramas. Okay, you know, soap operas. Okay, cannot stand Indonesian, Filipino dramas, 100 over series. Okay, but some people are really obsessed with them and can follow diligently, religiously. How come? Because each of us are gratified differently. Can you follow? Watching a Filipino drama or watching a Hindustan film that's overly romantic, okay, might work for somebody whose life is in a certain position. Okay, for example, okay, maybe this is stereotypical, but it's just an example. Okay, maybe young girls. Okay, maybe young girls during their teenage years, okay, they will like to watch a particular, they like romance movies. Okay, they like to watch what we call it, long love story dramas. Why? Because it's the context of their life. They are still young, they are looking for romance and probably they don't have a boyfriend yet. Okay, so they get gratified, they get fulfilled when they get to see a story, okay, a love story, for example, right? Or they get to see the handsome hero. They become happy. So it doesn't matter whether the story is good or bad. It doesn't matter if it's bawang merah or bawang putih. Have you heard of a drama, bawang merah, bawang putih? Right? Okay, some people say, oh, it's so stupid lah, but some people can like it and watch it religiously. Why? Because it depends on the context of their life. They are satisfied by watching it. Okay, like I said just now, maybe young girls at that time. You're still young, you want romance, no boyfriend yet. Okay. On the other hand, when you grow up and you become, okay, you get married and you have a lot of children already, and you have a different life context, okay, then you will not like these romance novels. You don't like romance movies anymore because your life has changed. Can you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so these changes, these dynamics tell us that audience interact with media content differently. Depends on how they are gratified. Okay, maybe when the girls grow older, they no longer like romance film. Maybe they like horror films. They like crime films. Because when they're older, they become angrier. Maybe. Okay? So what happens here is there's interactivity. Okay, they believe that audiences do something with the content. We don't just consume. You understand? We are not robots. Audiences not robots that only absorb everything. Okay, that when I choose to watch, okay, a romance film or a romance soap opera, there's a reason. I get happy by it. Okay? And this lead to demassification. Okay? The ability of the media user to select from a wide menu, unlike traditional mass media. Now, users and gratifications approach is much more relevant now, okay, compared to critical theory or mass society theory, because now even the media is no longer mass. Okay, remember traditional media like broadcast media, radio, television, they are what we call mass media. Mass means what? They don't discriminate. Everybody watch the same thing. Okay, but now in this time and age, in this class, for example, okay, there are 40 of you today. 40 of you are watching 40 different contents. Okay, why are your decision different? Okay, because it's already, okay, explaining that because we are gratified differently. So media cannot be influencing us the same way. Not like the time during mass society. Probably yes, propaganda. Why? Because everybody is watching the same content. Okay, but now there's demassification. And now also there is asynchronity. Okay, asynchronous. Okay, now the messages, media content that we get are staggered in time. Senders and receivers of electronic messages can read email at different times and still interact at their convenience. What does this also mean? Okay, this means, okay, the way we watch television is no longer traditional. Everybody don't watch media at the same time. Okay, and not like in the olden days, okay, when you watch TV, you can only watch, you cannot respond. Okay, you cannot pause, you cannot stop. But when we come to the year 2000, 2020, today, media is no longer synchronous. It is asynchronous. Okay, that means the way our media habit has also changed. So it's very hard again. So all of these are trying to tell us why audiences are more powerful today and why the approach, users and gratification approach, is very relevant. Because media today has changed, okay, and people are having different, okay, and actually people are more informed of the way they consume the media. Okay, so when you want to use users and gratifications in your research later on, probably for your FYP, maybe for your research class or whatsoever, okay, this is the theory that you can use when you want to study, okay, how audiences, how people make use of the media they consume. Okay, so this theory is straightforward. Okay, so you can use this theory, for example, to identify why do girls like K-pop. Okay, so you can use this study. Then you can ask Dayang. Dayang, why do you like K-pop, Dayang? Do you like K-pop, Dayang?
No,
You don't like
like
K-pop.
madam.
Then what do you like?
You. Okay, tak lah.
No, that one you don't have to tell.
Boleh lah sikit-sikit. Not
Okay,
that much.
You don't like, okay, what do you like a lot? If it's not K-pop, then what?
Taylor Swift.
You like Taylor Swift. Why do you like Taylor Swift?
Because I can relate to her songs throughout my teenage years.
You can relate to her songs, okay? What does her songs tell you?
Mostly romance during the
About
early days.
early years romance. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, Dayang, for the
Alright, thank you, madam.
Now, so when I ask Dayang, okay, what she likes, and she says Taylor Swift, and she says Taylor Swift because it relates to her younger days, that is already an example of using users and gratification theory. Can you understand? All right. So instead, okay, like I started off making an assumption, all of you girls like K-pop. Then Dayang tells me no, she does not like K-pop because she prefers Taylor Swift. This is already, okay, telling us, okay, that audiences today fulfills all of this theory. Okay, not everyone is the same. Everyone is what we call it, gratified differently. Okay, so that is why, again, it's an example why post-positivism, or we call here users and gratification theory, will always tell us that audiences are active. Why? Because I ask the audiences. I don't make assumption. If I make then the research would be very simple. All of you are victims of K-pop. Okay, I can make a research and say the influence of K-pop on the girls in this class. Okay, I can take critical theory and just make based on my observation. Or I can choose this theory and say, okay, I want to study the influence of K-pop on the girls in this class. Then I have to ask every girl. So when I ask, definitely I will get different answers. So that is why automatically the media effect will be minimal. All right. So when, okay, they say, some of you say you don't like K-pop, some like Taylor Swift lah, some like I don't know, Malay celebrities whatsoever. Okay, so that already shows us, okay, that audiences are active and audiences have different ways of being gratified. Some people like K-pop, okay, they like what call it, mata sepet they like, okay, but like some like Blue Eyes, gratified differently, okay. Here, now, so users and gratification, okay, there are so many users of the media, but usually these are the main users of the media, okay. So why do people use the media? Usually for information, okay, to get informed. Now, watching or listening to Taylor Swift, is it giving you information? Yes, information is anytime you get a particular message. Okay? And then, okay, what else are the uses of media? Uses of media includes surveillance. Okay, what are surveillance? Surveillance is when the media warns you or prompts you or tell you in advance about something. Okay? Can you give me an example of how the media warn us? What do the media warn us about?
The media warns about the news or cases
Yeah.
happening in Malaysia. For example, is COVID. COVID cases.
Yeah. Okay, news, okay, the main function is surveillance, okay, so the media warns us, okay, don't go to this place, there's a new cluster, there's coronavirus, there's COVID-19, or they tell us about war, okay. But sometimes surveillance, okay, is not just about what we call it issues that are dangerous, okay, it's not just about warning, it's also about informing us, telling us about what is going on around us, okay. Like what? The media tells us what is the trend at the moment. You know fashion trend, okay, what is the fashion trend at the moment? Who can tell me fashion trend?
Minimalist.
Minimal what?
Minimal. Now people
Minimal. Don't wear anything.
No.
Nah, minimal fashion trend.
I like more to aesthetic, more to like earthy tones.
Oh, okay. So this year the trend is minimalism. Is it? Wear white, earthy color. Okay, very depressing this year, yeah. Okay, with the virus and people also have no fashion anymore. Don't wear any colors. Okay, but point is, where did you get to know that this is the trend? How do you know? Okay, because you see it in the advertisements, for example. Okay, or when you read the magazines, right? They always tell you 2020 summer trend. Okay, this is the lipstick color you wear. This is the denim jeans, the type of jeans you wear. So this is what the media tells us. They prompt us, inform us. Okay, what is the viral right now? Viral cakes. Okay, every day there's a certain viral type of food. Okay, so this is all surveillance. You know what surveillance, right? Like a surveillance camera. You know camera, right? Wherever you go, CCTV. CCTV is surveillance. What does it do? It observes the surroundings. Okay, and this is what the role of the media. So some people can argue media is bad, showing all the Muslim girls, all the sexy, what we call it, fashion, Western fashion, K-pop fashion. Okay, But if we are going to use this theory, we would say the media is only doing its function. Media is only doing surveillance, and media is telling you, okay, that the trend today is like this, minimalism. Okay, but how you adopt it, okay, audiences, how you adopt it, whether it is suitable with your culture or not, is really not the fault of the media. Remember, because this theory only focuses on what you do with the media. Okay? What else? How else do we use media? We use media for diversion and emotional release. Okay, divert. Divert means what? Divert means you want to move away. If you are currently very sad in your life, okay, or you're very stressed, okay, because all the assignments are due this week and next week, right? Very stressed, okay? So you need to divert, okay, because if not, you can go crazy. So how do you use the media to divert your attention? You start to switch on your Netflix, okay, you watch all those videos on YouTube, okay? You need to divert. Okay, so this is the opposite of what critical theory says, that media is basically making us lose our attention. Okay, actually, according to users and gratification theory, what the media is doing is just helping you because you wanted to divert. Okay, can you understand what we mean by diversion? All right, the same thing as emotional release. Okay, maybe you have a roommate, right? Roommate who has a boyfriend. Okay, and then every now and then you see she will switch on the music very loud. Then you know, oh, gaduh lah tu. Okay, or maybe she's got the music on very loud. Probably have problems with her boyfriend. So that is also an example of how your roommate uses the media. It helps her release her emotions. Okay, can you understand? Okay, that means what? It's your roommate who use the media, not the media that influence your roommate. Okay, you use it all the time also, right? Media, content to release your emotions. Yes?
Yes.
What do you do, Sister Ho?
No, usually depend on the person, madam.
Okay.
If a person know how to use the media, it'll be okay. But if a person use it negatively, so they will get it. So yeah, it's how the person use the media, something like that.
Yes, that is the idea of users and gratification. That is the idea of audience theories. How you use the media. So it's not the media's fault. Okay, it's not the
Yes.
media's responsibility. Okay? And you know there's a theory called catharsis. Okay? So catharsis says, okay, if you are feeling sad or feeling angry, okay, what do? You have to watch a movie, okay, that's full of violence. Why? Because then you feel release. You become satisfied, right? Because you're angry, right? You're very angry. You want to beat up your friend, but you cannot. So instead, you watch a movie that does it for you. Okay? So this is a theory, catharsis. Okay? So what else? Okay, how else do we use the media? We use the media for linkage. That means to get linked to another person, okay, to get linked to a particular group, isn't it? That's what you use your social media for, to get linked.
Connection.
Pardon?
Connection, right, madam?
To get
Connection.
connected, yes, linked and connected to other people. Okay? Of course, sometimes you may get linked to the wrong people. Okay, that's why you hear of all this online fraud, right? Like the Nigeria scam lah, the romance scam, love scam. Okay, you get connected to the wrong people and they deceive you. Again, if this happens, this is just a dysfunction of the media. You used it, right? You go and found that somebody, you used it to get linked. But it's not the media's fault that you got linked to the wrong person. Okay. And then the media is also used for transmission of values. This is also, okay, this is the point always criticized by, okay, the cultural and critical theories. Because media, okay, always, okay, distribute the values of the status quo. Okay, for example, the media always, okay, the value of the media, especially commercial media, is always materialism, always making us want to buy something. Okay, so if we are taking critical cultural studies, okay, we say this is very dangerous. But here we are talking about uses and gratification. Okay, so when we talk about the values, okay, sometimes the values that we adopt from the media, okay, it's really the result of our own decisions. Okay, can you understand? Okay, the values that we get from the media depends on the consumption that we make, the media that we choose. We chose to watch that Western content. We chose to watch Netflix from night until morning. Okay, so whatever values that we get, all right, okay, is based on our consumption. Can you follow what I'm saying? Right? The values, okay, the media, the medium, okay, the creator of the media, yes, they definitely have their own values. But whether we get influenced, whether we consume those values, even if those values are against our own culture or our own religion, we cannot blame the media. Can you follow? Okay. And we use also the media for socialization. Okay. Most of the time we use this. Do you realize that sometimes, okay, we use media for social utility? That means we use the media for our social needs to interact with other people. Okay, utility, usage. For example, okay, maybe when you are with a stranger, okay, and you want to start a conversation. No, that's sorry. That is conversational currency. Okay. Sorry, okay, social utility here. That means you use it, okay, to make more friends. Okay. How do we make more friends? Okay, we make more friends through using conversational currency. This is what I mean just now. Conversational currency is we use it as a topic for conversation. What kind of conversational currencies? If you are sitting with a group of strangers and you don't know how to start the conversation, most of the time you would start with something that you've read in the media. Why? Because you know that is what most people will be reading as well. It's the common topic. You can say, oh, did you read, okay, the topic on the newspapers today? Did you hear the song on the radio? Did you watch this television program? Okay, why do we use the media? Because most of the time people will be accessing the same content. So this allows us to have conversational currency. Can understand so far? Conversational currency, okay? And it also allows us to have parasocial relationship. What are parasocial relationship? Para means what here? Para means, okay, half. Okay, it's real but not so real. All of us, most of the time, have this parasocial relationship with a particular media figure. Okay? For example, all of us probably have our favorite singer, favorite actresses, okay? Dayang likes Taylor Swift, okay? Why? Because she feels Taylor can write songs that understands her, that write songs that relate to Dayang's life, as if Taylor Swift understands that what Dayang is going through. That is an example of parasocial relationship. Can you understand what I'm saying? All right. So when we have that, okay, most of the time we become gratified, we become happy, isn't it? Especially teenagers. Teenagers often have parasocial relationship with celebrities. Okay, like boy bands. Every generation will have a boy band. You know what? Your generation, what was the boy band during your time?
One Direction.
One Direction. Okay, One Direction. Now, No Direction. Okay, so One Direction. Before One Direction, there was Who ah? Westlife. How old are you, Muhammad Sofian? Okay. Westlife is an
Rabani,
example of a boy band. You know them? Okay.
Yes.
Westlife.
Rabani, madam.
Pardon? So Westlife.
Rabani.
Rabani, yelah. Okay. Rabani, okay. So before Westlife, there was probably one, Backstreet Boys. Have you heard of Backstreet Boys?
Yes.
Yes, now they look like Backstreet Grandpa. Okay. But point is what? Each generation, okay, maybe the time of your parents, okay, they have like, your grandparents, they have Beatles. Each generation will have a boy band. Okay. Why? Because it basically allow the girls and the boys, okay, to have some kind of, even if you are obsessed with them, it is as if you have a relationship. Can you understand? Parasocial relationship?
Madam.
Yes.
Parasocial relationship, can it cause obsession towards the person?
Yes, definitely. Okay, you see those photos of the fans crying over all these boy bands. Yes, they can create a kind of obsession. But again, those obsession, if you use users and media and gratification theory, it's not the problem of the media. It's how those girls become obsessed. Can you understand? Because what the media does is only allow you to have some kind of socialization. Okay, liking boy bands, okay, allow for social utility among girls. Why? Because when they are among their peers, they can discuss about it. Okay, they can say, oh, I've already bought their album. Then they have a conversation. And they have, okay, when they go home, they have a poster of the boy band. Okay, and this makes them smile. Okay, and they all wish that one day, okay, this boy band they can meet this boy band and suddenly the member of the boy band will fall in love with them. They all have all this imagination. According to this theory, well, it's just the function of the media. It's what people use the media for. It's used for girls, okay, to understand their teenage years, to fulfill their teenage years. But if those girls become obsessed, okay, or can become crazy or whatsoever, well, that is the dysfunction and that is the fault of the user. Can you follow parasocial relationship?
Madam, question.
Yes.
For the parasocial relationship, for example, we get to know someone or a friend from online. Does this consider as parasocial relationship?
Yes. Parasocial relationship, okay, if that friend acknowledges you, that means it's like true friends lah, then it's not really parasocial. Okay, parasocial is most of the time is one person only, bertepuk sebelah tangan. You think you have that relationship. Okay, for example, okay, Oprah. Have you heard of Oprah? Or maybe Ustad, okay, or who's very popular? Okay, you follow a certain Ustaz, okay, and you believe that the Ustaz is like your mentor, okay. You will follow what the Ustaz says, but the Ustaz does not know you. Okay, but maybe also by following that Ustaz it has helped guide your own life. You make good decisions because you remember what the Ustaz says. Oh, Ustaz ni cakap macam ni, cannot like this. This is your parasocial relationship. Okay, so far can understand? Alright. And last and not least, of course, okay, is the function of the media to entertain. Okay? Entertainment can be anything, good or bad, as long as it entertains. Some people get entertained, most people get entertained differently. Alright? Okay? We'll discuss entertainment theory later, okay? So here are all these lists, okay? Basically, this list can be much longer because we use media for so many reasons. Okay? So these are just the examples of how audiences use media. Okay? And when audiences can say, oh, I use media, or I like K-pop because it gives me parasocial relationship, that it already defends, okay, the audience's use of K-pop. That means K-pop is not something that is bad for the audiences. It's good for them. Okay, because they get socialization, they can have friends, they can interact with the other people in the class because everybody has the common liking for K-pop, for example. Okay, and K-pop gives you entertainment. Simply makes you happy. You just enjoy. Okay, now, so here, okay, like I said, the theory is a post-positivist theory, so it sees audiences as active, okay, and it also does not relate to big assumptions. It only focuses on how the audiences use the media. Okay, that's why remember middle range theory. Okay, so these theories only focus on specific, what we call it, relationships or phenomenon. Here, they only focus on how audiences use the media. Okay, you like K-pop, why do you like K-pop? Tell me. I'm not going to say you liking K-pop will make you less Muslims or you liking K-pop will maintain status quo. That's not the issue here. Okay? So you can understand, all right? So here, the strength, okay, they focus on individuals and they respect the intellect and ability of media consumers, okay? And they can tell us how people experience media content, okay? Because again, people are gratified differently, okay? And they can differentiate between active and passive users of media, okay? Sorry, all right, okay? So here they talk about study of media as part of everyday social interaction, provides useful insight into adoption of new media. So these are all the strengths. That means when we use this theory, when later on you use this theory for your whatever research you're going to do later, okay, they can tell you about how audiences, how people experience media content. Okay. This one, alright, to often mistakenly the weaknesses, okay, often mistakenly associated with functionalism, which can create a bias towards the status quo. Okay, so here, alright, really, yes, okay. So here is really, okay, a criticism against this theory because this theory, okay, is usually very simple because it only talks about the users. Okay, and it sometimes, okay, get confused with the theory of functionalism. But this functionalism is a theory that is so much bigger. Okay, we've already discussed functionalism in the last class. Functionalism is a bigger approach. Okay, but never mind, don't worry about this, all right, because it's really the talking about the what we call it. It's just talking about the, what is that word? Basically, it's just talking about big relationships in terms of theories and it's not related, okay, to what we are focusing today, okay. So here, all right, talking about, okay, the weakness, okay, it cannot address the presence or absence of effects. Here, can you understand why we don't study effects? Because we only ask the audiences whether they like, what do they do with it. But we don't focus, okay, on the long term, okay, because when we talk about effects, it's usually about what the media does to the people. Remember, we say this theory talks about what the audience do with the media. Can you follow, Soma? Okay. Can you understand? So this theory is an audience theory, not an effects theory. Okay. So here the same thing. This is the same. Okay, and they are toward micro level. Micro level means what? They ask the audiences. Okay, so they are unable, okay, to give us big explanations about the role of the media. Okay. So another theory example of a theory, audience theory, is entertainment theory. Okay, so this theory is very simple. It says that audiences use the media Okay, whether listening to the radio or watching TV or watching movies, we only do it for entertainment. Okay, so why? Because we have different motivation when we consume entertainment. Sometimes, okay, it could be hedonistic motivation. Have you heard of the word hedonistic? Usually it's a very negative word. Hedonism. Alright, they say
Enjoy.
hedonism is very,
Excessive pleasure.
yes, excessive pleasure, right? Maximize pleasure. Okay? Some of us, okay, especially Muslims, these are against our values. Okay? Because this is hedonistic means there's no limit to what you want to maximize your pleasure. Okay, I give you an example. For example, in the 60s America, okay, they had a culture of, I forgot the names, okay, where they don't have rules, okay, that anyone are allowed to do drugs, okay, anyone are allowed to drink as much as they can, as long as they feel happy about it. Can you understand hedonism? Like hedonism among young people today, okay, they would like to do anything just to maximize pleasure. Okay, culture like free sex, okay, drugs are always related to hedonism. But in this theory, hedonistic measures, motivations are not judged. Some people, okay, use it to maximize their pleasure. Okay, and this can help them minimize pain. Okay. So if you like to watch, okay, if you listen to rock music or what we call it, those very hard rock music, is it? What is the term you call it?
Black metal.
Yes, black metal. Okay, some black metal, some people argue they what call it, Satan, apa nama? Satan worshipper. Okay.
Lucifer.
Okay, Lucifer. Alright, Lucifer. Then you watch the drama Lucifer. Okay. To them, okay, to some, okay, when they are listening to the music, right, they head banging, they go to the concert, they take drugs, right? Why do they take drugs? Because they can hallucinate. And then the music will make them lose themselves, okay? They are not present, but they feel very pleasurable. Because when you're high, when you're shaking, head banging, right? Okay, you head banging, sometimes you lose your reality. You lose your consciousness. If that happens, okay, according to this theory, it's okay lah, because you choose it, because you are probably needing it. Okay, you need to have this pleasure to overcome whatever problem that you have. Can you follow? So some people like to use hedonistic motivations. Some people become very obsessed with bad things. Also, it's okay according to this theory. Okay? Hedonistic. Some people likes to watch, for example, okay, some people are obsessed with pornography. Okay? So pornography is obviously in our culture wrong, haram, whatsoever. But because in the Western cultures, it's not an issue. Okay, they use this theory. That's why you can watch porn freely. It's not illegal. Because to them, pornography allows, okay, helps you with hedonistic motivations. Okay, but don't do it, yeah, boys and girls. Okay. So here we talk about, again, that's why this is also an issue with post-positivist theory. It is objective. No values. If we take critical and cultural theories, there are values that you can assert. Okay, so as a Muslim researcher or a Muslim academic, is it okay for you to use this theory? So it really depends later on, okay, when you are in the real life, where, okay, who you are doing the research for. Okay, is it your own research? Okay, so these are later on also considerations that you must undertake before you adopt a particular theory. Okay, But some people, okay, are naturally, okay, very good because when they consume entertainment, okay, they use it for eudaimonic motivations. That means not hedonistic. Hedonistic, they follow their pleasure only, nafsu only. Okay, but here eudaimonic, okay, some people choose content that provides opportunities for personal insight, self-reflection, and contemplation. They only get happy, okay, entertained with contents that have some kind of benefits. Okay, can you follow? That when you listen to a particular song, you probably are the types that like to listen to the lyrics. Okay, not everyone listen to the lyrics of a song. As long as the song sounds nice, you just sing it without realizing what you are singing. Okay, because it's what? It's just for pleasure. This one probably most of us experience that, right? You just like that song. It just sounds good to you. Okay, but you don't realize what you are singing. But some people, they are very choosy of the content. So because they have eudaimonic motivations. Okay, because whatever they listen to, they want to make sure, oh, I'm listening something that is positive. Okay, you closely listen to the lyrics. Okay, or when you choose a movie to watch, you don't want to waste your time on movies that has no, for example, benefits to you, that's going to help you. Can you understand? All right. And then entertainment theory also say, okay, people can need the media because parasocial interaction is important. Remember, we mentioned just now, parasocial relationship. Okay? Parasocial relationship. Because you can have, okay, if you are a lonely person, okay, some are introverts, they like to only be in front of their screen. Okay, they like to complete all the movies that they like to watch. And they become satisfied with that, okay? And they become as if they know what the characters are about. So this is also beneficial based on this theory. Can you follow? Parasocial relationship. Now, entertainment theory is a theory. Parasocial relationship is a theory also, okay? Now remember, okay, theory can be big, can be small, all right, as long as it makes some kind of assumption on a particular relationship, right? And then you have mood management theory. A predominant motivation for using entertainment is to moderate or control your mood. Now, if you see here, isn't it almost similar as USES-AND-GRATIFICATION theory? Because again, all of these theories, okay, are focusing on what the audience do. So uses and gratification just now, they list all of these things that people do use, how people use the media, okay, why people use the media. So in this theory, they also use the same thing but focusing specifically on entertainment. Okay, and here entertainment is not just specific to a entertainment type of programs. Entertainment in this sense is anything that the audiences like. You know that there is a term that they say, and entertainment can sometimes, okay, fulfill the lowest denominator of taste. Okay, what does it mean? It means even some stupid or some silly things can be entertainment. All right. You can have, okay, what are silly things that I've given you examples before, like what we call it, fear factor. Fear factor, have you watched it? Have you heard of it? All right, they challenge your fear. Would you eat the the cockroach? Okay, would you sleep with the snake? Okay, would you do that? Some people say it's disgusting. What are you doing? But some people say, wow, this is very challenging, very fun. Okay, so entertainment can be anything. Okay, like watching the Kardashians. Some will argue there's no point. But some will argue, well, it's just entertainment. I like the way they fight. Okay, or I like the way their lips grow bigger every year. Okay, so it's just entertainment regardless what is the content. Okay, so that is why we say just now, pornography, for example, according to these theories, is a function of the media to give entertainment. Right, so we don't question. Okay, and usually when we choose a particular media, it depends on our mood according to this theory. You cannot deny it's true, right? When you're happy, you want to watch certain things. When you're sad, okay, you want to watch, for example, only happy or comedy movies. Why? To help you manage your mood. Okay? Oi, si Soho, makan Maggi sorang-sorang. Huh? Okay?
Lapar, madam, lapar. Sorry.
Okay, saja je. At least you switch on video. There's only 3 students who are switching on their videos and I'm looking only at 3 of you. So thank you for your response. At least when I say something, you smile, I know you understand. Okay? Alright. So here, Rob and the mood management theory. See, this is a very boring cartoon. But it's just telling you, okay? For example, what do you do? Okay, according to the mood management theory, okay, all media use is influenced by the individual's mood. Okay. So, this is, macam si Soho. No. Okay, so this is Rob. Okay, but Rob here is not a Muslim, yeah. So don't follow Rob. Okay, just giving example. So to get entertainment, Rob and his girlfriend, okay, TV is boring. So they need to go where? They need to go to the disco or they need to go dancing. Okay. So this is what? Why do they choose here and not here? TV boring. Because TV when you are alone, okay, different fee, different mood. But when with your girlfriend, different mood. Okay. So here, the girlfriend is sad. Okay, what to do when your girlfriend is sad, si Soho?
Buy food.
Buy food. Okay. Or you can use media. Allow her to watch whatever she wants to watch. Okay, dedicate a song to her, a song that she likes. That will change her mood. Okay. So here, suddenly they become angry. So what do? Oh, listen to music. Okay. Now, very straightforward. It tells you that different media, okay, the way we choose a particular media depends on our mood. Now, if it depends on our mood, it means that we chose it. We are the active audience. Can you follow? Yes. So here it stresses media's pro-social relationship, pro-social influence. That means, okay, here with entertainment theory, okay, they focus on media's social relationship. Okay, it allows you to be happy, it allows you to connect with people. Okay, it allows you to, never mind if it's hedonistic motivation, it's okay to this theory. Okay, it allows you, it empowers you to do what you want. Okay. So here they provide, for example, different explanation on why people seek entertainment from media. Okay, it is grounded in an expanding body of empirical media effects research. Okay, provides useful basis. Now, all of this, it talks about the strength of the theory, because the theory is, why is the theory very relevant today? Because the world that we live in today is very media saturated. All of us very dependent on the media. Okay, while you're doing your assignment, you're switching on YouTube, you're listening to the radio. Okay, so theories must help explain, okay, why people are so obsessed and consumed with the media. And most of the time, the media's function is for entertainment. Okay, so the theories must explain why people need entertainment. Okay, so they explain, hedonistic, even if it's very negative, even if it looks very unethical, okay, maybe for example, for a Muslim guy to be obsessed with the Kardashians, okay, it may appear morally questionable, but according to this theory, it is what makes that person happy. Can you understand? Okay. So what is the problem then? The problem then, we just accept lah. Entertainment, anything form of entertainment is okay. Okay. Which can be dangerous. Okay. Not all entertainment is okay all the time. Okay. Pornography is not okay because pornography leads to child pornography, for example. How do you draw the line when you say hedonistic motivation is okay? Okay, how to draw the line whether this is entertainment and this is not entertainment? Okay, or like what we call it, games, right? Gaming today. Okay, people are so obsessed. Okay, from morning until night, and then playing games that's all very violent, about murders and killings. Okay, so all of these are not questioned here. Okay, so far can you follow?
Madam,
Yes.
number 4 for the strength is grounded in an expanding body and physical media effect research to meaning.
Maknanya, okay, is grounded in an expanding body of empirical media effects. Sama, this is one of the theory that is always being used, okay, because now when people study media effects, okay, they need to use what we call it, they need to provide evidence, okay. So empirical, this theory allows empirical research, okay. What do we mean by empirical research? Remember, I told you, okay, all of these post-positivists are empirical. Why? Because they study, they use scientific method. Okay? So that is why, okay, they say, oh, entertainment, we may say it's bad. Okay, we can use critical theory, we say it's bad. It's so obvious people are watching pornography. But to this theory, they can defend themselves because they do the research. And of course, when they do the research, okay, they survey and they question, they ask all those people who watch pornography, and those people will definitely say, oh, I watch it because, that means they will justify and give reasons to why they watch. And when people are able to give reasons, they will usually be able to defend why they watch pornography, for example. Can you understand or not? So when they defend, okay, then it can tell you, oh, the audiences make that decision. Audiences are powerful. They do it for entertainment. It's not because the media badly influence them.
Even though that thing is bad lah, kan? Macam
Yes, even though that thing is bad. Okay, like we said just now, pornography, violence, okay, all this silly entertainment, okay. If you take a big assumption, okay, very bad. But here it's empirical because they study, they ask you. Obviously, you would say, oh, I watch pornography only once a week only, or for entertainment only. Can you understand?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So here, okay, then the weaknesses of this theory is what we have discussed in general just now. Okay, the weaknesses of all post-positivism theory, okay, is usually they don't question status quo. Okay, and they don't talk about assessing cumulative effects. What is cumulative effects? Like we mentioned just now, okay, watching pornography, entertainment. But what if you become addicted? Cumulative effects. What happens, okay, if all the young people are watching pornography? Can you understand? Cumulative effects. Can you understand why we cannot get cumulative effects? Remember, this theory, you have to be scientific, empirical. So you cannot study everybody. And this theory tends to consider entertainment in isolation of other types of effects. Okay, they only focus on entertainment, what makes you happy. Okay, but what makes you happy probably does not work well with other types of effects. Okay, like allowing children to play games. Okay, all the games are about killing people, right? What games do you play?
No,
PUBG.
PUBG, sama?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, sama?
Word search.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike. What? Farmville?
Word search.
Word search, very good, word search. Okay, but seems pet. Alright, okay, so the girls are probably not all, but most girls are playing games also nowadays, right? Okay, but most of the popular ones, the dominant ones are violent. Alright, so if we take this theory, we say it's okay when the children are playing it, it's for entertainment. Okay, but what happens, okay, is that this, okay, when you watch or you play these games, it will bring or incur other effects. What kind of effects? That you no longer feel anything about violence. You are desensitized. Okay, and then I have, for example, okay, my nephews, okay, they are all saying words like I kill you. Okay, so where do they learn all these things? Through what they watch in the games. Okay, die. This is the word that they use. And they're only 5 years old, 6 years old. Okay, so this is the issue that is not being considered by this theory. Okay, why is it not considered? Because again, this theory is middle range. This is a theory that can argue based on their empirical, the evidence that they get. So my evidence tell me it's entertainment because this is what I studied. Alright, I'm not going to be talking about religion ke apa ke because I did not study that. Okay? And there's another theory, okay, with regard to audience is reception studies. Now, reception studies, okay, so basically these studies is a cultural study, right? Not really post-positivist, okay? It's an audience-centered theory that focuses on how various types of audience member make sense of a specific forms of content. Okay, now, what's the difference between reception studies and uses and gratification study? Uses and gratification theory. Uses and gratification theory is a post-positivist theory that starts off the research, okay, or try to analyze the relationship by focusing on what the audiences do with the media. Okay, but here the word is reception. How do the audiences receive the media? It may be a bit confusing because the differences is very vague, not vague, okay? It's very in the details, okay? I hope you can follow. Here, when we talk about uses and gratification, we focuses on what the media use, how the media use how the audiences use the media. That means, for example, watching a movie, okay? When you watch the Avengers or when you watch Iron Man, okay? Sisoho, what do you do with it? Okay, Shafizi, what do you do with it? Do you like it? Is it entertainment? Is it information? Yes.
Yes.
We see the media as objective. Here, remember, reception studies is part of cultural studies. Cultural studies is part of critical studies. Remember, critical cultural is talking about status quo. But here, okay, it says how does the media audiences receive? That means they still believe that the media, okay, that the media content you have, okay, is not objective. The media is not free. The media is maintaining status quo. Just now, audience theory, post-positivism, they don't even talk about that. They don't talk about media is objective or not. They just see media as something that is being used by the audiences. But in reception theories, okay, we understand that the media is a product of the status quo. Can you follow or not? Okay, but also, yes.
So basically, kalau uses and gratification, how we use, but how we receive, like
how we receive, how we make sense.
Okay.
Understand or not? So far here, we understand, okay, that the media is the product of the status quo. Now, if it's critical theory, we say, oh, we are the victims now. We only get what we call it, the status quo give us, what they give us, the propaganda, for example. But here, in reception studies, We understand, yes, there is probably some kind of propaganda. There is probably some kind of what we call it, content that is being distributed by the status quo. Clear? Okay, maybe I don't know why. What do we do to be more clear?
Ahmad mute.
Okay, Sister Ho, can you mute for a while? Okay, can clear here now? All right, thank you. Okay, so just now, like I said, okay, when we talk about reception studies, okay, we still assume that the content is given by the status quo, that this content have a message that probably is good or not good. Okay, when we talk about users gratification, doesn't matter whether content good or not good, it just depends on what you do with it. Okay, but here, yes, there's a meaning to this, but it depends, okay? But how the audiences get the meaning depends on how the audience receive that content. Can you see the differences? Okay? So some, because, all right, what the audiences do with the content. Okay? So here, that's why they say it's an audience-centered theory that focuses on how various types of audiences members make sense of a specific form of content. Okay, a Western program, okay, a news program from CNN, okay, probably, for example, supports American control over the Middle East, for example. Okay, the message is clear because CNN is owned by the Westerners and they support the Americans, for example, okay? But how do audiences understand this content? Differently. Why? Because they believe that media text or content is polysemic. The characteristics of media text as fundamentally ambiguous and legitimately interpretable in different ways. Okay? That the media, that when we look at the media text, it can give different meaning. Can you follow so far? Alright, okay? So that's why some people have preferred or dominant reading. Some will have negotiated meaning or decoding. Some will have oppositional decoding. Okay, you can use the word reading, you can use the word decoding. Okay. So, so in reception studies, the producer intended meaning of a piece of content, okay, is assumed to reinforce the status quo. Now, when we watch a particular film or when we watch a particular movie or listen to a particular song, okay, according to this theory, there is the producer intended meaning. You know what we mean, producer intended meaning? That means it's the status quo lah. Okay, that when you are watching, for example, Captain America, okay, the producers of the films, when they make that film, okay, they want you to understand, okay, that the superhero is America, Captain America. That when people watch it, okay, if we take critical theory, anyone who watch Captain America, obviously that film is trying to maintain status quo. Okay, it's a white superhero saving the world, all right, and then very handsome some more, and then what else? Okay, his name is Captain America. So it tells us that the Americans, okay, the heroes, that when there are aliens, there are bad people, we call Captain America. Okay, so it's the typical idea of the white supremacy. Can you understand? So this is the message that is clear when you see Captain America. But how audiences understand that content is what we call it, can be in different ways. Because the message can be polysemic. If when you watch Captain America and you agree, okay, you agree, okay, and then you agree with what the movie portrays, that yes, the whites are more powerful, or you believe that the Americans are powerful, that only Captain America is going to help you, you have what they call as the preferred reading. Okay, but on the other hand, okay, when you watch Captain America, you say, look lah, another American propaganda. You look at how the Americans are all fooling us, showing us that they're so powerful, okay? When the audience members develop interpretations of content that are in direct opposition to the dominant reading. Can you follow? So maybe your father, when they watch Captain America, look lah, this Captain America must use this power, that power. Or you look at the Malay hero, only silat can kill everybody. Okay? So it could be oppositional reading. But most of the time, sometimes we have negotiated meaning, negotiated reading. Okay? An audience member creates a personally meaningful interpretation of content that differs from the preferred reading in important ways. But most of the time, we get negotiated meaning that when we watch Captain America, yes, okay, we think that he is very handsome, we get the entertainment, okay, but we don't agree with the idea of Captain America, that what an American man is the most powerful, or that the American man is very strong, that can save everybody. You don't agree with that. That means you negotiate the content. Can you understand so far? Okay, so the fundamental differences between users and gratification and reception studies is that reception studies is part of cultural study. So it acknowledges that the media content, okay, is part of the status quo. Okay, and it has some kind of intention. When they produce a song, when they produce a film, okay, there's a message that the producer wants to send to the audiences. But how the audiences interpret those messages, this is where reception comes in. It depends on how you make meaning, how you receive the content. Why? Because here it argues that content, okay, is polysemic. Okay? So that's why when content is polysemic, how you understand a message can be preferred. That means you follow the intended meaning. You agree with the producers. Or it could be opposition. You disagree. You counter. Or most of the time, negotiate. Okay? You like it, okay, but doesn't mean you follow everything. Okay, can you understand or not? Yes? Okay?
Doctor.
Yes.
Question. So basically for reception studies, it is like uses and gratification theory is how audience use the media. So when reception studies, it is like how audience perceive the media. So it is like one step before use of media, isn't it or not?
Okay, all right. You can see it that way, but a better way of understanding it is to understand, okay, that uses and gratification theory, okay, is a post-positivist theory. So it sees media content, okay, does not have any value. Okay, it just focuses, okay, that when you watch a TV program or watch Captain America, okay, what do I use with that content? Do I like it for entertainment? Do I do it for information? Okay, what I do with the content. But on the other hand, okay, when we talk about reception studies, okay, it is part of cultural theory. So its underlying assumption is that the media content supports the status quo, or that the media content has a specific meaning intended by the producers. Okay, so it's not really what we do with just what we do with the content. It's really how we receive the content, how we make sense of the content. Can you understand so far?
Okay, madam. So basically the difference is the assumption.
Yes,
itself.
the basic assumptions, okay? Right, so that means when we study reception studies and when you use reception theories later on, it is a little bit more complex than using uses and gratification, because when you do your analysis, you need to talk about status quo, okay? You need to do many other things lah, alright? Okay, so what is the strength here? Basically, reception studies is in the middle lah. It is still quite empirical, but it is still critical because it acknowledges status quo, okay? So it's still focused on the attention of the individuals, okay? Here basically telling us that the strength of reception studies, it acknowledges audiences as active, Okay. But here, okay, still the what we call it criticism is that, okay, it talks about, okay, that even reception studies is micro level. Micro level, that means because it studies a small group of people, only the specific audience. Okay, it tries to study specific audiences, but it attempts to make macroscopic assumption. Okay, here what do we mean by macroscopic? Because it talks about status quo. Okay. Now, so these are examples of audience studies, okay, used by feminist reception studies. I think we've already discussed this one, reading the romance. Okay, and there's another one, in Ang's watching Dallas. Okay, so this theory talks about interpretive communities because people share a similar life situation who develop specific interpretive strategies. Okay, here audience reception. Okay, remember we talked about this book before, okay? Reading the romance. If we use uses and gratification theory, we say, oh, people use it for diversion. They use it for emotional release and they just explain it like that. Okay, the women, when they read romance novels, they do it for entertainment. They do it for emotional release, okay? They don't question the intentions of the novel. But when we take reception studies, we start by understanding that reading the romance, okay, is a way of trying to maintain a status quo. How to maintain status quo? Okay, like romance novels creating stereotypical women, for example. But, okay, because you see, usually when you read the romance novels, the man is very masculine. Okay, and the women is usually very submissive. You know, like when you watch the Malay drama, right? Okay, they will follow lah the husband kill what? The husband do so many bad things also, she will submit. Okay, so it will portray as if women are weak. Okay, but here when we use reception studies, you can say when women read romance novels, it's either they use preferred reading, that means they agree. And they like it when men become very powerful and control them. But some people can take oppositional reading. Some people, women who reads this kind of romance, they don't agree. Okay, but most women who read this novel, they use negotiated meaning. Or I like the romance part, but I don't agree, okay, with this part where the man controls the woman. Can you follow or not? That means the novel itself, okay, if we take feminist theory, is already very biased towards male power. Okay, usually the man is already perfect lah, very handsome, always rich. Okay, so that the woman must go after the man. I give you an example of a Malay film. Have you heard the Malay film Ombak Rindu? Okay, Missing Waves. Okay.
But yes, madam.
So the film, okay, was a box office. Many people cry when they watch the film. They like the film because it's romantic. But some people question, what's the controversy with that film? Who knows? Okay, hold on, yeah. What's the controversy? You didn't watch the film?
Yeah, watch.
Okay, no problem with that film. Okay.
No problem.
What's the problem?
Where the female actor Maya Karin is deemed so weak in the movies like that.
You know what's the problem?
And also, Aaron Aziz bought her.
Yes, he raped her.
Yeah.
She didn't know that she was being sold, so he raped her. And then she said, please marry me. And she becomes submissive to her rapist.
No, she should make a police report, madam.
Yeah, but she married him, right? And after that, tried to become the best wife she can.
Salah tu, cannot.
So that's why we give a different interpretation. The way I see it, I don't agree. But the way Si Soho see it, she made a police report. A different way of receiving the message. Can you understand? Okay, but if we use entertainment theory, doesn't matter lah, rape ke, whatever lah, it's just entertainment. Okay, can you follow? Alright, so this is what we mean by reception studies. So here are just examples of theories that focuses on all audiences. Okay. Alright, that's it. Any questions?
Madam, I want to ask, our quiz is still next week, is it?
Yeah.
And what will the chapters be? Thank you.
The 3 chapters after, so it will be critical cultural and post-positivist theory. And this one also lah kot, isn't it? 6. Go away. Okay? Never mind, right? So I will use only 2 chapters. Okay, critical cultural and post-positivist. Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Alright. So, but the theory will be, the quiz will be next, what day? Wednesday. But I think most probably the class will be on Monday. So that we don't clash, okay? So we have class on Monday, the quiz on Wednesday. Okay, any questions?
All right. Thank you, madam.
All right. So if no question, okay, we end the class today with tasbih, kafarah, and 1 as. Okay, thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum.
Madam,
Okay, madam.
Raya Haji bukan 21 ke? And 22 is supposed to be
Hey, Raya Haji 31 Julai lah.
bukan 21. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, madam.
Okay, we end the class now.
Madam.
Uh,
Thank you, madam.